Hello friends, welcome back. I am Gitika Gupta from Bansal's Tutorials. In today's lecture, we'll be starting our physics new chapter, Reflection of Light. In this chapter, we will discuss various things about light. Like, we will discuss about the objects that give out light and the objects that do not give out light. Next, we will discuss what is a ray of light. Then, we will discuss about reflection of light. We will discuss reflection of light on two types of mirrors. They are plane mirrors and spherical mirrors. In spherical mirrors, we will be covering two types of mirrors, which are concave and convex mirrors. Then we will discuss, along with the mirrors, we will discuss their respective uses. And lastly, we will be covering the mirror formula. So let's start. So what do you think? From where does the light come? Yes, there are sources of light, which the objects that give out light. But not all objects give out light, right? Some objects cannot be seen in the dark. So depending upon this criteria, that objects that give out light and the objects that do not give out light or do not have their own light, we have two types of objects, luminous objects and non-luminous objects. So luminous objects are those objects that have their own light. They emit light. And the non-luminous objects are those they don't have their own light. No, they can be seen only when the light from a source of light falls on them and they reflect that light towards us. Now, this word reflection will be done later in this chapter. Right now, we'll focus on the objects. So, luminous objects examples are bulb, torch, sun. Yes, torch is also an example of luminous object because when you switch on the light, when you switch on the torch, light comes out. And there are many other examples, tube light. And in non-luminous objects, we have many things around us like table, chair, book, and an important example is moon. Yes, moon does not have its own light. The moon is visible only when sunlight falls on the moon and that light is reflected by moon towards us. So luminous objects, they bring light in the room. The luminous objects bring light anywhere, wherever they are switched on. But the non-luminous objects, they cannot be seen in the dark. They can be seen only when there is light around them. So now let us begin with the ray of light. What is a ray of light? A ray of light is a straight line with an arrow on it. You always draw sun and then you draw rays over the sun. When you draw a bulb, you show light in the form of these rays. So these are the rays of light. In this chapter, we will take either one ray of light or a group of rays of light. So this single ray of light, how do we draw it? We make a straight line and then we put an arrow on it. This arrow is very, very important because the arrow will tell in which direction that light ray is going. If you don't draw the arrow, your marks can be cut. So if you want to show that the light ray is going in this direction, then you will put the arrow in this direction. And if you want to show that light is moving in this direction, then you will draw the arrow in this direction. So arrow is the most important thing in the ray of light. Now what is a beam of light? A beam of light is when we take many rays together. So a group of rays of light is called beam of light. What do you mean by parallel? Parallel means when these rays are put equidistant to each other and they all move in straight lines in the same direction. That becomes a parallel beam of light. As I told you that the non-luminous objects are those which are seen only when a light ray falls on them and they reflect the light. So how do you see these objects? With the phenomenon of reflection. Let me explain you what is reflection. Reflection is the bouncing back of light ray. Means if there is an opaque object, remember reflection always takes place on an opaque object. Opaque object is that which cannot allow light to pass through. लाइट उसके आर पार नहीं जा सकती. So reflection takes place on opaque object. How does this happen? Suppose you have an opaque object here, any kind of object, table, chair, any. Now here a source of light is emitting rays. It is emitting light. We take one ray of light. It strikes on this object, opaque object. It will not pass through. It will bounce back. This bouncing back is called as the reflection of light. So this is the reflected ray. This is the reflected ray. It reaches our eyes. Because of this we see this object. I have taken another example. Suppose we have this flower pot. Here the sun rays are falling on this. Means it's daytime, sunlight is there, and you have noticed that you are not able to see the objects in the dark, but in the light they are clearly visible. I'll explain you how. The sun rays fall on this object. I have taken one ray. This ray of light falls on this flower and then gets reflected in many directions. In all the directions it gets reflected. But if we are standing here, it will get reflected towards this direction and it will reach our eyes. So it becomes visible to us. Starting with the reflection of light on a plane mirror, first of all let me explain you what a plane mirror is. A plane mirror is made it is made from a plain glass sheet, but with a silver coating at the back, and then further at the back it is coated with the red paint. Now this silver coating is the most important thing in a plane mirror, because this is the surface where light gets reflected. Silver coating is used. Why silver is used? Because silver is the best reflector of light. But nowadays an alternate has been chosen, which is aluminium coating instead of silver coating. Why? Because aluminium is cheaper than silver. So this is a plane mirror. You all have a plane mirror in your homes, but in your diagrams you will draw a plane mirror like this. How? You will draw a straight line, and this straight line will have two surfaces. A plane mirror has two surfaces. The front one, which is the polished one, it is a reflecting surface, and at the back it has an opaque surface. So in your diagrams, how you will differentiate between the polished, the reflecting surface and the opaque surface? With this slanting line. You will draw the slanting lines on the opaque side of your plane mirror. That means first you will draw a straight line, and then if you want to draw the rays of light in this direction, on that side of the mirror, then you will draw the slanting lines on this side to show that this is the plane side, the reflecting side of the mirror, and this is the opaque side of the mirror. Let's begin with the main topic of this chapter, which is reflection of light on a plane mirror. During this process, during the reflection of light on a plane mirror, we'll be discussing about various terms like incident ray, normal, point of incidence, reflected ray, angle of incidence and angle of reflection. These terms I'll be introducing you along with the diagram. So the first thing that I have drawn is the plane mirror. We will always denote each and everything with some alphabet. Now plane mirror is always denoted with the same alphabets but with a dash on the other end. So suppose we have this end as M, the other end will be denoted as M dash. Now this is the mirror. Because we want to show the light rays on this side, so we have drawn the slanting lines on this side to show it as a back side. Now we will take the center of the plane mirror, this point, and we will draw a ray of light. This ray of light is coming from some light source and it is moving towards the plane mirror. So I will draw the arrow in this direction. Don't forget to draw the arrow. It is a major thing in the ray of light. So I have pointed the arrow towards the plane mirror. This shows that my ray of light, this ray of light is going towards the plane mirror. So the ray of light that comes from a source of light and falls on the plane mirror on the surface is called as the incident ray. So I will denote incident ray as A, and this point I will take as O. So what is the incident ray? It is AO, the light ray that comes from a source of light and falls on the surface. Now the point at which incident ray strikes the surface is called as the point of incidence. So what is the point of incidence in our diagram? It is O. So this is the point of incidence where the incident ray strikes the surface. Now at this point of incidence, if we draw a perpendicular to the plane mirror, if we draw a perpendicular, what is a perpendicular? A perpendicular is any line that makes a 90-degree angle with the other line. So I will draw a perpendicular on the plane mirror at the point of incidence. I will draw this perpendicular in dotted line just to differentiate it from incident ray and reflected ray. Now this perpendicular to the plane mirror, this surface, is called as the normal. So I will denote this normal as N. So NO is the normal. This normal, it is dotted, but it is the most important thing in the diagram. So don't ignore it. So we have done the incident ray, the point of incidence, and we have drawn a normal to this. Now this AO is making some angle with NO, right? Taking that same angle, we will draw another ray of light from O. We will draw another ray of light at point O. Remember, this angle and this angle should be equal. I will tell you why later. Now this ray of light is coming from this point O. It is coming from the mirror and moving in this direction away from the mirror. This is the reflected ray. So I will take it as B. So our OB is the reflected ray. OB is the reflected ray. Remember to put the arrow. So we have done incident ray, then normal, reflected ray, and the first thing we did was the plane mirror. It is important to draw the arrows, it is important to denote them with the alphabets, and then we will do the angle of incidence. Now I will tell you the importance of normal. Normal is drawn to tell us what is the angle of incidence and what is the angle of reflection, because angle of incidence is the angle made by the incident ray with the normal, and angle of reflection is the angle made by the reflected ray with the normal. So angle of incidence is always denoted with small I, and angle of reflection is always denoted with small r. In this diagram, I told you that you have to make these two angles equal. Now I am going to tell you the reason for this. So whenever there is reflection of light on plane mirror or on spherical mirrors, reflection of light always follows some rules. There are two rules, two laws of reflection. Remember, there are two laws of reflection, and this is very important topic in your chapter. ये आपके 2 और 3 marks में जरूर आ सकता है. So what are the two laws of reflection? First one is the incident ray, the normal, and the reflected ray. They all lie in the same plane. Means the incident ray falls on this surface of the on this side of the plane mirror, then reflected ray will not go towards this side. It will lie in the same plane, and so the normal will also lie in the same plane. Next rule is that angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. This is the law of reflection. Angle of incidence is always equal to the angle of reflection. So if you get a question that your angle of incidence is 60 degree, then what will be the angle of reflection? It's very simple. You will say, according to the second law of reflection, angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. So our angle of reflection will be equal to 60 degree. So these two laws, you have to remember them, and you have to show them on the diagram also if it comes in your exams. Now there is another case. Suppose our incident ray falls perpendicularly, means at 90 degree to the plane mirror. Here we drew the incident ray at some angle with the plane mirror. It was striking obliquely on the plane mirror. But suppose the incident ray is striking perpendicularly to the plane mirror, then where will the reflected light go? Yes, again you will apply the second law. Angle of incidence is 90 degree. It is 90 degree because it is falling on the normal itself. So it is 0 degree with the angle of incidence is the 0 degree. So according to the second law of reflection, angle of reflection will also be 0 degree. So the reflected light will make 0 degree angle with the normal. Means it will not make any angle with the normal. It will just move on the normal only. So we will draw the reflected light like this only, but with arrow on this direction. So if this is the incident ray, you will put an arrow towards the plane mirror, and to show the reflected ray, you will again put the arrow on the same line but away from the plane mirror. Move on to our next topic, that is regular reflection and diffuse reflection. Now regular reflection is that which occurs on a plane surface, and diffuse reflection is that which occurs on an irregular surface, जो कि एक प्लेन स्मूथ सरफेस नहीं है. रेगुलर रिफ्लेक्शन एक स्मूथ सरफेस पर होती है. Now how does this takes place? There is a beam of light coming towards the plane surface. If it's a smooth surface, this parallel beam of light will get reflected as it is in the parallel direction away from the plane surface, smooth surface. But in diffuse reflection, parallel beam of light is coming. Yes, it's a parallel beam of light, but when it gets reflected, each ray will get reflected in random direction. But remember one thing, the laws of reflection are always followed in regular reflection and also in diffuse reflection. Although the rays are going in random directions, the reflected rays, but this does not mean that they do not follow the laws of reflection. They follow the laws of reflection, but then why do they go in the random direction? That is because of the irregular surface. They get reflected in another direction, while in a smooth surface they all get reflected towards the same direction, moving in a parallel beam of ray. So this was today's lecture, and if I was able to clear our concepts regarding all these topics, please like, share my video and subscribe my channel. Thank you.